And so the idea is that if I do this, wow, that's amazing. Look at that.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Guten Morgen. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I don't know how old this water is, but I don't even know if I should call it a vlog. But today's vlog is about an artist date. So there's this book called The Artist's Way, which I actually have here, but I'll show you in a bit. In the book, the author introduces 4 tools for creative recovery. And I'm sorry about that, I think that's a bus. The first tool is morning pages. Morning pages are essentially like your stream of consciousness in the morning. First thing you do when you wake up, you get your journal, longhand, you write 3 pages, and whatever comes out of you, comes out of you. And it's a little bit different from journaling, how I understand it, because like it just allows you to get everything that's stuck in your brain out of your brain into the page and allows you to have the rest of your day free type shit. So I've been doing the morning pages for over a year now. Actually, I feel like it's almost, yeah, it's coming on to 2 years maybe, but it's certainly over 1.5 years. And I love that tool. It changed my life. It changed, it just allowed me to record like my wants, my desires, my feelings. It gave me a place to like, I need to be changing, so I'm gonna keep walking. Yeah, like, what am I trying to say? It's so hard to multitask, but I need to change. Okay, I'm back, and this might be hard to believe, but I got this fit ready in like 10 minutes, if even. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys, talk about The Artist's Way. This book. It's by Julia Cameron, and it is a book for aspiring and working artists, and she teaches some like basic principles. I wanted to talk specifically about the artist date, which is what I'm trying to take myself on today. And if I understand it correctly, let me just look it up here so that I'm not like guessing.
An artist date is a block of time, perhaps 2 hours weekly, especially set aside and committed to nurturing your creative consciousness. In its most primary form, the artist date is an excursion, a play date that you pre-plan and defend against all interlopers. You do not take anyone on this artist date, but you and your inner artist, aka your creative child. That means no lovers, no friends, spouses, children, no taggers on of any stripe.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna go too much more into detail, but essentially, the artist date is where you take yourself out on a date, and it's for like 2 hours, once weekly. And she speaks so interestingly about the artist date as the tool where most people have resistance to. And she says that like people are very open to morning pages, but like the artist date is much harder. Either people don't think that they're worth it, either it just doesn't make sense to set 2 hours aside from your kids, your friends, your family, your spouse to take yourself out on a date, you know, especially like, for example, if you have a full-time job, like it's not so easy to find 2 hours out of your week to just do something for yourself. I actually, when I first read the book, which was like in end of 2024, I tried to do the artist way, but the artist date, but I was so hesitant. I felt like my reasons for being hesitant were different from what she had explained, which was like, you don't prioritize play, or you don't think that you're worth like taking yourself out on a date. And that wasn't the thing for me. I feel like for me, the biggest thing is like my anxiety and the idea that I would take myself to random places and expect, you know, like new things to happen. Why would I seek that out? So I tried to do it once or twice, but it was just too uncomfortable and I wasn't able to do it. I think I will learn a lot about myself by pushing through the discomfort of doing this. So that's what this is about. That's why I'm dressed, because I'm going on my very first artist date, and I am going to an art shop, but I'm not going to the art shop that I usually go to, which is called ERRAND. I'm going to a different one that is like a little bit north of where I live. Yeah, if I'm being really honest, I'm just worried that like I'm putting myself in the position for unpredictability. Yet I actually have crazy cabin fever from just like being at home all week, and I should get out. And my partner is at work, so the onus is on me to do this thing. So
smooth as a silky pillowcase, slither in my innocent oasis. You bring the pain, I'll deliver patience. I see the lion and try to tame him. I know the werewolf behind the sheep, familiar the scent of deceit behind your pretty teeth. Say you need space to breathe, but what does that really mean? I don't believe when you said to me you really need space to breathe. What you really got up your sleeve, I don't believe when you said to me you really need space to breathe. I know something's up your silky little sleeve, your silky little sleeve. Something's up your silky little sleeve, your silky little sleeve.
I'm so sorry. I'm re-recording this because my mic was off. So, yep, it happens. But I am officially back. It was such a fun vibe. I highly recommend this activity if you are thinking about it. If you've considered doing artist dates, take yourself on an artist date. It really was amazing. I went to an art store called Overjoyed. It was in a very industrial part of Singapore, like where all the industries seem to be, but it was just one bus ride and it was very, very chill, and I highly recommend it. I was very present. I let myself wander. I actually used ChatGPT a little bit to kind of guide me through it because I know, again, I get so anxious. And so, yeah, I am going to show you the stuff that I got. The first thing I got was a canvas, and this canvas, I want to try out acrylic paintings. I wanted something that was a little bit bigger than what I usually paint because I love me a tiny painting. The second thing I got is this. So this is a paint by numbers painting, and so it's actually gonna look like this. Can you see this? If I lock in. And it comes with its own like painting, like the colors that you just paint by numbers. My mom loves doing paint by numbers, so I bought this in honor of her. The next thing I got was colored pencils. I got a set of colored pencils. Colored pencils are one of my favorite mediums to use because they are very easy. They remind me of being a kid, and I have so much fun when I color pencils. Next, I got some brushes. I got some new brushes, acrylic brushes for my acrylic painting, and so that kind of goes with the canvas. Next, I got this metal tin. I've been meaning to get this. And it is a tin for my watercolors, but they don't sell it with the pans. ASMR. So I have these pans that basically go in here. So I'll actually put them in right now. No. Makeup pockets hurt. Okay, so the idea is that if I do this, wow, that's amazing. Look at that. Ah! god, this is so bad. They didn't all fall, but a lot of them fell. That's so funny to me, actually. That's so funny. I'm gonna pick the ones on the ground later. Okay, amazing. 10 out of 10 would not recommend flipping it, but yeah, and I'm gonna put my watercolors in there soon, and I'm very excited to finally like use a metal pan. We're almost there. And then I got regular writing pencils just for vibes and cartel. You get it? Like, I really got a lot of Faber-Castell. So I got these, and I got some acrylic paints. Apparently this is a Chinese brand, and it is 12 very tiny acrylic paints to play around with. And so that's what's actually going to go on this canvas. So basically, this is one project, if that makes sense. This is one project. Last but not least, we have this canvas pads, I guess. I hope I can use, it says acrylic, oil, gouache, and mixed media techniques. I hope I can also use it for watercolor, because I was actually looking for watercolor paper, but I couldn't find it. So I'm just gonna quickly do like a haul thing. This. Amazing. So yeah, all in all, I'm very grateful for the artist date, and I think I will be undertaking this practice once a week. This particular one I feel like was also an errand, because I haven't done my like art supply shopping in maybe like 6 months. So I felt like this was also a little bit an errand, and so, but it was nice and I loved it, and I chose something that I knew I wanted to do, but I was going to do this anyway. I just chose a different art shop that was a little bit more fun, and so down the line I'm going to try to choose other activities, and I use ChatGPT to like generate a list of like 50 activities I can do here in Singapore for my artist dates that like would cover a whole year basically. So I don't feel like I will run out of ideas, but I'll keep you guys posted on how this goes. One thing I wanted to mention was like at the end of the artist date, when I was like heading back after like spending an hour and a half in the art store, everything was, I was smiling at children, I was smiling at people, like, and like I mentioned, the place that I went to was very industrial. Even as I was working in this very industrial place, I had like the eyes of wonder, and I don't know if that was like just me and like a placebo effect, but like I genuinely felt so light and so vibrant after it. And the other thing is, like, while I was on the artist date, I had no thoughts about anything else. It was just about me in that moment. And yeah, I mean, I kind of get that, like, especially if your life is very busy, that this can be a very healing practice that allows you to just be with yourself in a way where you're having fun. So yeah, that's my feeling about my very first artist date this year, and I hope I continue on with this practice. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.